Crisis comes to every presidency. We don't blame them for that. What matters is how they handle it. Donald Trump didn't create the coronavirus, but he is the one who called hoax, who eliminated the pandemic response team, and who let the virus spread unchecked across America. Crisis comes to every president. This one failed.
This is a flu. This is like a flu.
Coronavirus is spreading in the United States.
The number of cases has risen to 732.
We're going to be pretty soon at only 5 people, and we could be at just 1 or 2 people over the next short period of time.
The CDC said people should avoid crowds. Also, you should avoid shaking hands.
My uncle, he was at MIT. He taught at MIT. He was a great super genius. I like this stuff. I really get it. They're going to have vaccines, I think, relatively soon. We're talking about a vaccine, maybe a cure.
I think the reasonable expectation is between a year and 18 months, honestly.
Anybody that wants a test can get a test.
There has been a lag in the ability to get tested.
You take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that would have an impact or much of an impact on corona?
No.
It will go away, just stay calm. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear. That's a pretty good job we've done.
My fellow Americans, tonight I want to speak with you about our nation's unprecedented response to the coronavirus outbreak that started in China and is now spreading throughout the world. We have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
Now the Democrats are politicizing, and this is their new hoax.
If you're healthy, you will probably go through a process and you'll be fine. Be calm. It's really working out. A lot of good things are going to happen.
Dr. Fauci said earlier this week that the lag in testing was, in fact, a failing. Do you take responsibility for that?
Yeah, no, I don't take responsibility at all.
But you did disband the White House Pandemic Office. So what responsibility do you take to that?
Well, I just think it's a nasty question.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your response to this crisis?
I'd rate it a 10. I think we've done a great job.
What do you say the Americans were scared, though? I guess nearly 200 dead, 14,000 who are sick, millions, as you witnessed, who are scared right now. What do you say to Americans who are watching you right now who are scared?
I say that you're a terrible reporter. That's what I say. It's a very inaccurate quiet. It's so insulting when they write phony stories that they know are fake news. But remember, we inherited a broken, obsolete system.
Coronavirus has now killed 3 times more Americans than 9/11. So what's Donald Trump been up to? Blaming the impeachment hearings for distracting him from preparing for the pandemic.
I think it took a lot of, I see them going and saying about speed. Well, I mean, I got impeached.
In January, Trump's own senior advisor issued a memo warning him that coronavirus presented a grave threat to the United States. Days later, the World Health Organization declared it a global health emergency. Where was Trump? He wasn't distracted. He had plenty to do, like campaign rallies and golfing. In February, the virus spread to Europe. While Italy was shutting down and quarantines were being announced all over the world, Trump played more golf and packed thousands of people together. Sounds safe. The day before the first American died, where was Trump? Where do you think he was? At another rally. By March, the world was calling coronavirus a pandemic. Where was Trump? On Twitter, as usual, blaming everyone else. When Trump finally bothered to take it seriously, it was too late for 10,000 Americans, and who knows how many more. Trump just didn't care. He still doesn't. He was never distracted, and Americans have been paying attention.
Brilliant enemy. They develop drugs like the antibiotics. You see it? Antibiotics used to solve every problem. Now one of the biggest problems the world has is the germ has gotten so brilliant that the antibiotic can't keep up with it. And they're constantly trying to come up with a new. People go to a hospital and they go for a heart operation. That's no problem, but they end up dying from problems. You know the problems I'm talking about. There's a whole genius to it. We're fighting, not only is it hidden, but it's very smart, okay? It's invisible. And it's hidden, but it's very smart. And you see that in a case like Denver. But, I think we're doing well, and they're on Denver.
Nobody has a better voice than I do.
Nobody has done so much more equality as I have.
Nobody builds walls better than me.
Nobody's better. The people with disabilities of the uranium.
Nobody knows politicians better than I do. I know what it means. Nobody knows more about trade than me. Nobody knows the system better than me. In the history of the horror has ever known so much about infrastructure.
And nobody even understands it but me. It's called devaluation.
Nobody knows it better than me.
Stop it. Get some help.